Word up. So to everybody who's logged on, I appreciate you guys logging on, taking out the time. Like I said, it's my first time doing a Google Hangout, so we're getting all the kinks and the bugs out. But any questions? I'm seeing the questions on the side. So even though your video screen may or may not pop up, I don't know how that part works, but please keep hollering with the questions on the side at least. And if you can hear me, then you'll see me. You'll see me responding, hear me responding, and all that. Excuse me. Kenneth said, am I coming out to Phoenix? Hopefully. I've been out there once a while ago. Very, very big fan of it out there. Let me put these headphones. I had this in the phone. 1 2 1 2. I'm assuming you guys can still hear me. Yeah, I've been out to Phoenix before. It's a little while ago, but dope time, dope time. The heat is a little crazy, but dope time. Hopefully later this summer. You know, the main thing with being an independent artist, the thing that myself and a lot of other artists who are independent always stress is that we're down to go anywhere as far as shows. We're down to go anywhere. We'll go to anybody's city. We'll go to anybody's, state, country, whatever it may be. We're down to do shows as long as the promoters holler. So when the promoters holler and reach out and we start kicking it with them one-on-one and we build and we get the business straight, we're down. I've never said no to a show unless the business wasn't straight. So it's never about, oh, you don't want to come to this city or that city. I'm down to come to any and every city where the fans are, where the people are, where the love is at, where we could break bread and bug out and drink Heineken after the show and chill and all that. So it all depends on, the promoters in that city reaching out. So to Phoenix, I definitely want to have you guys, get some of the music from my friends love. So once the promoters reach out, we there. But hopefully, though, I got a couple things brewing. So hopefully we can get all that rolling. Let's take some of these Twitter questions too while y'all keep sending them on the side here as well. How did the Black Thought, David said, how did the Black Thought collab for Money Make Us Happy happen? Okay, so the way that happened, when I was making the record, I had an idea of who would make sense on the record, and the first name that came to mind was Black Thought. And off top, I was like, yeah, that would be the move. I felt like conceptually what the record was about, I felt like he made the most sense as far as other artists that I could get. I had a handful of artists, but I felt like he made the most sense. So I hollered at Black Thought actually in Atlanta at the A3C festival. And, me and Thought already had a rapport. We was already real cool. We was already tight. We was already building and all that. And he had actually brought me out on stage to freestyle before, a bunch of different things. So, it made sense. We had a nice relationship already. So I hit him and he heard the record and he was down. He was like, yeah, I'm with it. Like I definitely cleaned that up, and he rocked out. Crazy thing, a lot of people don't know about Money Makes Us Happy. I'm going to give you guys a jewel that nobody knows. On that record, it's myself, Black Thought, and Bilal. J. Cole was actually supposed to be on the record as well. And I know we would have probably broke the internet if that would have happened. He was on tour, didn't get to do the verse and whatever. He's running around busy with a lot of things going on with his album. And I know he was on the road for a long time. I think he's still on the road. But J. Cole was supposed to be the third verse. So it was going to be me, Black Thought, and J. Cole. And J. Cole didn't get to finish the verse in time. So I just wound up doing the third verse myself. So that's a little nugget that nobody knows except the Google Hangout team. Let me see. Somebody said, Cole, chilly chill like our demeanor be. Was that inspired by Memphis Bleak Murder? It wasn't, but I guess the way I said it, the chilly chill, the chile chill, that I guess it was, you can take it from that. But what I was saying in that line is, you drive around with the roof down and the AC on. And it's like a lot of times, I guess that's California style, or it's a way of just showing ignorant class, ignorant money. Like, yo, you drive around with the top down or the windows down and the AC on. It's kind of like, yo, that defeats the purpose. And that's symbolism as to how we're raised, where I'm from, and the way we're brought up, and the way we're supposed to think and we're supposed to move. So, that was just, a little fly line. Okay, we're getting a lot of questions. Pardon me, I'm trying to get them in order. Pardon me on all this. Let me see. As far as Money Makes Us Happy, I remember when you and Torre were talking about the remixing of the Aura, a lot of people said they wanted Black Thought on the remix. Did that influence you to work with him on Money Makes Us Happy? No, it wasn't because of that. I just thought it made sense. I thought he made sense with the record. But that would have been cool too if he would have, if we would have pulled that off and got him on that as well. But everything happens for a reason, and it made sense that that Thought was on Money Makes Us Happy, because it was the perfect combination. It was the perfect tie-in. It all worked out perfect. So I'm happy with that indeed. Somebody said, my wife's about to give me the hook for our nightly walk. I asked on Twitter whether the Sunday morning jazz listening has made you consider donning your producer's hat and get more heads on with the canvases you're spitting on. Well, first off, my bad for holding you up. I don't want to get you in trouble at the crib. Trust me, I know how that goes. I don't want to get you in trouble at all. But the production angle, I definitely wouldn't mind getting into it a little more. I just feel like you got to have the right amount of time to really learn how to do all of that, because I never was about disrespecting somebody's craft. So me being an MC, if somebody came along trying to be an MC and didn't really have it, didn't take it seriously, or didn't put the time into it, I wouldn't respect them, and vice versa. So if I'm looking at production, I wouldn't respect somebody for, putting in, I wouldn't respect somebody for jumping in and trying to be a producer without putting in the time and without doing the right thing. So production would be dope, but I really want to make sure that, if I do it, I have the time to do it right, because I respect the craft so much. I respect what producers like Illmind and Jaleel Beats and Ant-Man Wonder and all these guys that I work with. I respect what they do so much. If I step in that playing field, I got to make sure I'm right and I have the time to dedicate towards the craft. So at the moment, I don't have a lot of free time to learn how to use the machine and the Triton, the Korg or whatever. And, I'm that might be going back. That might be an old machine, but, all that type of stuff. I don't really have the time the way I want. But at some point, I feel like I'll get into it. Let me see. You think you'll do a collab with Little Brother or at least Fonte? Yeah, Tay is the homie. Tay is the homie. Pooh is the homie. I don't know if another Little Brother project as a whole is gonna happen. I don't know. That's not to put anything in the air. I just don't know, because I know it's been a while since they've done anything, and I know they're on separate paths solo wise and are successful in their own right. But I'm always down, especially with them, because they were there from day one. So I'm always down. You know what I mean? Me and Pooh got records with other people together where we're randomly put together on records, and I'm sure me and Tay could get something. That's been people since way back. So that's nothing. That's definitely that would definitely be a dope move, and that's not something that would take a lot to happen. Let me make sure I'm catching all these. Pardon me, y'all. Okay, I think that's it on here. Yeah, I think that's it on here. Let me go to the Twitter and see what people was asking for. And asking Bodie for a package. The line, paint the town mint green. The intrigue stays at the front. You're saying, what does that mean? Is that a car? Is that a long shot? Nah, so what I'm saying on that line where I said paint the town mint green, the intrigue stays at the front, what I'm saying on that is, there's a saying you hear, paint the town red, meaning do whatever you want, do it up for the night, paint the town red. What I'm saying is paint the town mint green, meaning money. The money is mint green. The actual color is mint green. So, that's that. So what I'm saying is, instead of paint the town red, going to party and living it up, paint the town red, I'm saying paint the town mint green, meaning all this money that you getting, asking Bodie for a package and all that, all this money that you getting running around with, use it to paint the town mint green. That's where that comes from. Somebody said Little Brother album has no shot of happening, unfortunately. Yeah, I think you might be right. I think you might be right on that. You never know. Time always tells. You never know. But as of right now, I think that might be a long shot as well. Make sure I got everybody. Okay, I think I got everything on here. Looking at the Twitter. See if I can find anything. I think we got that. We got that. Okay. Yeah. Any questions anybody has? You know, feel free. We here. And just to talk about the album a little bit. I don't know if you guys know the theme and the concept of the album. The album is literally about my friends and I. It's music for my friends. It's really music for my friends and I. So the album is full of stories that my friends and I went through. So when you hear lines, let's say on the experience where I say, what's the opening line I said at the beginning, where I said, what's the line? I got a million lines off the album. In ninth grade, Pierre would keep his weapon close. That's a real line, you know. My man P, who I haven't seen in ages, I went to school with him. We was in ninth grade. So when you're in ninth grade, you what, 13, 14, depending on your birthday. My man P would keep his weapon close. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about that line, it may go by quick, but you think about that like, whoa, wait a minute. In ninth grade, Pierre would keep his weapon close. Like, that's scary, you know. My man in ninth grade would keep it in his locker, keep it on him, you know, in the school, you know, that it's a scary line. And pardon me, it's a reality. It's a reality of what really was going on. It's a reality indeed. So, you know, the album is about being 13, 14 years old, and the things that you see when you're 13, 14, the things that shape you, the things that, you know, you see and hear, and the conditions that you live in, those are the things that shape you for the rest of your life. I feel like 13, 14 is a weird age bracket, and it's an extremely crucial and vital and important bracket, because what happens is there's a lot of confusion. So on one hand, you're 13, 14, you're you know, growing up, you're becoming an adult, your body's changing, your voice is changing, etc. But then on the other hand, you still got to ask your parents for a Christmas list. You still got to ask to hang out late. You still about cartoons and cereal in the morning. You know, that's that's the kid side. And I feel like you're caught in between this weird world of being a kid and being an adult in the transition. Whatever happens to you at that age can shape you for the rest of your life. It'll determine how you look at the world, how you see things, how you interpret things, why you move the way you move, and the decisions that you make as an adult. So this album is about that. This album is about all of those things, and where you know, just where we are nowadays in 2015 based on how we was raised. So I see the world, whether it's Charleston, whether it's Ferguson, whether it's Rachel Dolezal, whatever it is, I see the world the way I see it because of how I grew up at 13, 14, and what was around me. And you may see it a little different based on where you from and how you saw things and the way you grew up. So that's where that comes from. So somebody asked, can you talk about the emotion making things I should have told my friends? Yeah, Things I Should Have Told My Friends was the last record I did for the album. It was the last record that I wrote and recorded for the album. Things I Should Have Told My Friends sums up everything that's going on with all of the tracks prior to it. So with Things I Should Have Told My Friends, what I'm saying there is we grew up the same way. We all grew up the same way, whether it's records like The Experience, Asking Bodie for a Package, Civilized Leisure, Everything's for Sale, Moments That Matter. We grew up the same way with all of these things. And with that being said, I was a little bit different personally because I grew up in a house with both of my parents. So even though we went outside and it may have been a war zone, or even though we may have, you know, grew up around the same music, we wanted the same things as kids. We lusted after the same little girls when we was their age, 13, 14, whatever it is. We saw the same things on the corner, the same temptations, whatever it was. A lot of my friends in my neighborhood, they didn't have both of their parents. They only had their moms, you know, or a few of them might have only had their pops. Me, I had both of my parents. I had my mother and my father at the same time. And at times you may feel guilty about that because you may feel like you got the upper hand, you got a one up, or you got a, you know, you got a ringer almost, you know, it's almost like you have a ringer for this game that we playing called life. And sometimes you may feel guilty about that. So the record, Things I Should Have Told My Friends, is about that emotion. It's about feeling guilty for being blessed, having both parents, even though you live in the community that you live in, whether it's impoverished or whatever it is, having both parents as a one up and as an ill stepping stone to help you get to where you're trying to get. And it's about feeling guilty for that. But for wrongfully so. You know, you shouldn't feel guilty for having both of your parents. That's a blessing. So the record is about that. Silly question. What is FGR? That's not a silly question at all. FGR is first generation rich. So that's the company that I started. It's my company that I own. All of my work goes under it, whether it's music, whether it's ghostwriting, whether it's, you know, television stuff that I'm working on, and just different things, playwrights and different things of that nature. Anything I do is under FGR. It's like my Rockefeller, my Bad Boy, my Maybach Music, whatever you may have it. FGR, first generation rich, be the first and the last. So be the first one of your generation to be able to say you got it, you made it, you crossed that line, you became something for your generation, your family to look to, but also be the last, because you want to set it up so high that you don't want the people behind you, your family members coming up in the generation after you, saying that they got to become the first again, or saying that they got to do what you're doing because what you didn't sustain a long enough legacy, or didn't sustain enough financially. So be the first and the last, you know. Can you talk about the song Metal with Trust, how it came together, and why you chose to not rap on the song? So Metal with Trust, I always had this idea of doing a record that I wasn't on. It'd just be kind of like an R&B record, almost like an interlude in between certain songs to kind of tie it together. Just a different kind of weird, ill idea that I had while creating the album. I had the idea for a while, and I just had to take the leap of faith and jump into it. And purposely, I didn't want to be on the record. I was like, the way I want to do this record, I don't want to be on it. I just want a dope singer, and I just want it to work. So originally, it was going to be K Cola. As you know, K Cola is one of my artists, and she's on the label, and she's on 2 records on the album. Originally, it was going to be K Cola, but I met this girl named Saba on Instagram who hit me up, liked a bunch of pictures, and hit me and said, hey, I'm a singer and I love your work. I'm a fan. If you ever want to work, let me know. And I checked out her page and I was blown away. And I said, you know what? I kind of want to put a spin on this. Cola's already on the album twice. I kind of want to spread the love out a little more and flip it. And, you know, that's how that came about. And Metal with Trust is supposed to be the song that's played in the bedroom after I met Shorty on Playing Favorites. So if you look at the story, it's 3 parts when it comes to those 3 songs: Playing Favorites, Metal with Trust, and then Women Who Could Cook. Playing Favorites is me meeting Shorty at the bar or the club or whatever you want to have it. I meet her, I get the number, we building, whatever. We go back to the crib. Metal with Trust is the song that's playing while we in bed. All of you know, when you jump in bed with a lady, you throw a dope song on or a dope album on, and you let that rock while you're doing your thing. So with that, Metal with Trust is supposed to be the record that's playing in the background. And that's why it's slow. That's why it's soothing. That's why it's sensual and sexual, the things that I'm talking about. So that's supposed to be the song that's playing while I'm in bed with Shorty on Playing Favorites. Then after that is Women Who Could Cook. That's why there's a skit at the end. The morning after, First Take is on in the background, and she's asking me what I want to eat. And then Women Who Could Cook comes in. So it all holds hands. So somebody said, thanks for the answer, congrats on the album, great project. Thank you, I appreciate that. Any chance you could work with Marsha Ambrosius? I'd be honored. I'd be honored to work with Marsha Ambrosius. She's an amazing talent, singer, songwriter. I've watched her in the studio get busy with the pen. I've watched her belt out harmonies. She's amazing. She's one for the record books indeed. So hopefully, you know, and she's a real cool person. She's a good friend. Whenever I'm in LA in the studio and all that, we vibe and build and everything like that. So hopefully, you know, hopefully that's something that happens. You also said you took some writing classes. You think an episode or a series, indie short film. Yeah, I'm working on all that type of stuff, honestly. You know, I've been working on a television pilot for a while, something that I created. I can't get into the details, so I know some people may want to ask, and I'm honored by the inquiry, but I can't get into the details of that yet. But I have a television series that I created. It's an hour-long drama series that I created. So I'm working on putting that together now. The pilot episode is totally done. I wrote it myself, A to Z. I actually wrote the entire episode while I was on tour in Brazil. Torre could tell you, we was out there together, and he saw me writing it, and I let him read it, and, you know, he was there for that. And don't ask him what it's about either. But yeah, in due time, you guys will get that. In due time, I appreciate you guys wanting to see another side of the pen, and I'm extremely excited for you guys to get that. Indeed, I'm extremely excited for you guys to experience what I can do on that side of the pen as well. So, see if I missed anybody. Metal Trust. Okay, I think we got that. Okay, what else are we on? All right, so we got that. Let's see if there's anything else. Check this Twitter feed, see if it's anything else going on with the Twitter. And on top of that, let's see. What else can I tell you guys about the album? Whatever else you guys got questions for. To me, this album is my best work. It's my most personal. It's something I'm extremely proud of. It's something that I was excited and anxious to see how you guys felt about it, because some of the content gets a little, some of the content is a little grittier on this one. So lyrically, you guys know I'm gonna always go there. I'm gonna always be 150% with the lyrics to the best of my ability, because that's what I feel you guys deserve. I feel like you guys have been a part of this, you know, from day one, and you deserve what you came here for. If you come to a certain place looking for pizza and you there every day getting pizza, the next day you go and they're giving you Chinese food, you're like, wait a minute, I didn't know this is what we was getting. I didn't sign up for this. So I know you guys signed up for lyricism. I know you guys signed up for top-notch lyricism, pardon me. My job is to continue to deliver that. So with that being said, I wanted to make sure that's a part of it, because that's just in my bloodline. That's just in my bloodstream. But on top of that, the content is a little grittier on this one. You got records like See a Key. You got records like The Moments That Matter. You got records like Everything's for Sale. You know, you got records like Civilized Leisure, Asking Bodie for a Package. The content is a little grittier on this one, but sonically and production wise, it all ties in. It all makes sense, whether it's the trumpets coming in from Sean Taylor, whether it's the Fender Rhodes and the keys coming in from my man Roger out in LA, whether it's, you know, these different sounds that help tie it in together story wise. And you guys, man, I'm honored and humbled to say that you guys have gravitated towards it and taken it under your arm and all that, you know. And that I can't imagine, you know, I can't imagine it being any other way. I'm honored and humbled by you guys, and you guys are amazing. Every trip, you guys just come out and show more and more love. I owe you all individually immensely, and that's what things like this Google Hangout and all these other things are for, just to try to show you guys that real gratitude, that I really do appreciate everything that you guys have done and everything that you're about. So one time indeed for all of y'all. I think we got another question. When are you and Primo making a song? Saw the YouTube on video this afternoon. That was nice. Appreciate it. Yeah, me and Preem got a bunch of records, a lot of records together with Torre. So it's myself, Tor, and Preem. We got Click, we got Get It Done, we got the Aura, we did the Bars in the Booth freestyle. That was like an on the spot thing. So you know, me and Preem got a couple other records together. We don't have anything where it's just the two of us, but you know, in due time, you never know, you know. But I'm honored to say that I do have a couple records with Preem with my brother Torre. So even if we never did anything individually, it's still a huge accomplishment being able to say we got 3 records together. You know, I got verses on all those and hooks on all those, and it's still Skyzoo Records. It's Skyzoo and Torre Records. You know, it's the 3 of us. It's myself, Tor, and Preem. So even if Preem and I never do a record together where it's just him and I, you know, it's all good. But if and when that opportunity comes, I want Rhyme No More. I want a Rhyme No More type beat. If I get a Rhyme No More type beat, lights out. I'm cleaning up. I swear. You think you heard rapping so far? I'm cleaning up if I get a Rhyme No More. Motherfuckers can't rhyme no more about Sky no more. I line mine up and the rhymes don't draw. Mine is late. Now I could keep you. That's just off the top freestyling, but you know, yeah. I get a Rhyme No More, it's over. How did you link up with Jadakiss to See a Key? Oh man. Jada is one of my favorites of all time. One of my favorites of all time, you know, top 5, top 10, whatever you want to say. Jada's somebody who I was listening to, you know, I mean, 9th grade, going to school, 14. I've said it in freestyles, Penny series, you know, 14 with a flow. I was underneath the block, thought Jadakiss was Jesus. I just wanted to be the locks. That's a real line. Like, that really happened. You know, I really wanted to be with them. You know what I mean? All I wanted to do was be a part back 14, 15, 16 years old, you know? So with that being said, when you come up in the game and your name is getting weight and you selling records and you're doing your thing and you're getting busy, a lot of these guys you look up to become the guys that you rub shoulders with. And Jada became a guy that I would rub shoulders with, whether it was at events or shows, concerts, whatever it may be. And he's somebody who showed me a ton of love, a ton of appreciation, and you know, always was like, yo, you got it. Yo, you crazy with it. And obviously vice versa, because I look at him as one of the greatest ever. So he always would say to me, yo, I got you. Come to Yonkers. I got you. Let's get something. We overdue. So, you know, I reached out. I went up to Yonkers and, you know, he held me down. I played him the record. We didn't do the record together. I did the record on my own, and then I took it over to Yonkers. And when I played it for him and Styles, they just had the ugly face like, yo, this is bananas. And when I was done, Jada was like, yo, that's incredible. That idea of see a key, I go to sleep and see a key. He was like, yo, that's incredible, man. Like, I can't wait to do that. And he knocked it out. He cleaned it up, you know, starting to think I need counseling, you know. When I go to sleep, I see 36 ounces. It's crazy, you know. So yeah, that's how that came about. What else we got on here? Somebody tweeted, are you still with WWMG, Wonderful World Music Group? I'm not with Wonderful World Music Group. I haven't been with Jamla and Wonderful World Music Group for a little while now. That was back in 2011. But those are still the homies. I was actually with Ninth last week when he was in New York, him and Rhapsody. So, you know, obviously it's nothing but love and support for everything that they doing and vice versa. You know, nothing but love for them. You know, they out there crushing, killing it. I wanted to build my own WWMG. You know, I wanted to build my own Jamla, and that's FGR. I wanted to be able to find artists like Cola, you know, different artists that I'm working with. I got a couple other artists I can't name yet, but I wanted to find my own artists and build my own thing. You know, I wanted to be my own Quincy Jones per se, but that doesn't mean that there's no love for where I was and where I came from. It's nothing but love, you know. Let's see what else is popping up. I feel like I might be missing some joints because the names are popping up in between. Previous questions. So pardon me if I miss your questions, y'all. I'm just trying to scroll through them. Okay, boom. This one slipped under the crack. You said J. Cole was supposed to be on Money Makes Us Happy. What's up with that remix, though? Yeah, you never know. You never know, you know. I'm always down. I'm always open for different ideas and things like that. Like I said, he was supposed to be on it. We was together in New York talking about it, and I sent him the record, and he heard it, and he was, you know, he was all into it. You know, and he was like, yo, I'm on tour, but I definitely want to see what I could do. I definitely want to knock this out. I definitely want to put my spin and my take on it and rock this out. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I think, you know, the record as it is special. It came out perfect, you know. But I do know you guys have been asking for certain collabs for a while. J. Cole is one of them. So I think, you know, that would have been crazy as well. But you never know, you know. You never know. It might be a remix, might be a different song down the line. There's a couple features, you know, when you're making an album, the feature game always, you know, the feature game always gets tough because people got touring schedules, recording schedules of their own, you know, label issues. The feature game always gets tough. So there was a couple features that were supposed to go down that didn't go down, but Black Thought went down, Jadakiss went down, you know, those things happen, which is, I'm beyond honored and humbled, and beautiful, beautiful joints, you know. Couldn't have it a better way, you know. But there was a couple other little things like Cole with that. Wale was supposed to be on Sweet Pursuit, so you know that would have been super dope. And me and Wale are really tight. He just got real busy with touring as well. You know, he just put out his album not too long ago, so he's been on the road crazy. But he was supposed to be on Sweet Pursuit, which would have been real dope because when I heard the beat, I was like, yo, that sounds like something he would work perfectly on because it had that feel of. It just felt like emotion, and it felt like it was pulling something from you, but it still had a nice mid-tempo vibe. So it wasn't sad, but it just had a nice vibe to it where you could feel the emotion being tugged, but at the same time, it had this ill mid to up-tempo knock to it. So it was a nice blending of the two worlds. So I knew that would have made sense for him too. But, you know, me and Wale got mad records, so it's all good. We got mad records on YouTube. You can just put Skyzoo Wale on YouTube, and like 4 or 5 records come out from back in the day. So, you know, it's all good. Somebody said, I know A Dream Deferred was sort of a continuation of The Salvation. Does Music for My Friends have any connection to any of your past projects, or was it just an album you wanted to make in general? I feel like all of them connect together because it's me continuing these stories. And with me, the stories are always about my real life, how I grew up, how I'm living now, where I'm trying to get to in the future. So they always hold hands. I feel like Music for My Friends is a continuation of A Dream Deferred. Dream Deferred was me with all these dreams and all these contrasting, views and opinions and tug of wars. And A Dream Deferred was me realizing what some of these dreams were, and sometimes the dream was a nightmare. And then this is me realizing what all that is, and my friends and I coming from the same place, having the same dreams and the same desires, and trying to figure it out from there. So they always hold hands. The next joint will hold hands on this one. So that's always the MO. Always. Somebody say kill him. Word up. Definitely. we definitely here to kill him. We definitely here to make sure it's dope. Somebody said thought it was a little sour blood with MMG on Sweet Pursuit. Originally, there's things that happen inside the crib. There's, you got brothers and sisters. I don't know if some of you guys got siblings. Sometimes things happen. You bump heads a little bit, or you misinterpret, or you have a misunderstanding, or whatever it may be. It's no different in music. So with me and Wonderful World Music Group, it wasn't no button heads or nothing bad per se. It was just I wanted to do certain things, and I was able to step away and do certain things, and for things to make sense, I had to step away and do what I did. But it was never no love lost or nothing like that. Might have been some miscommunication. I will admit that. Might have been some miscommunication, which is what the whole Sweet Pursuit line was about. But Knife and I sat down about a week ago and really figured out what some of the miscommunication was. And this was communication that was behind the scenes. This communication was behind the scenes because I'm not the type of person to go out there and rattle off and do this, that, and the third. Neither is anybody else on the WWMG side, which is a beautiful thing. It wasn't anything major at all. I don't want that to turn into something. It wasn't anything major at all. Just might have been a little miscommunication here and there. Knife and I sat down last week and figured out all of those miscommunication parts. And, everything is smooth groove. Everything is smooth groove. It's still fam. I'm still FGR. He's still doing Jamlin, Wonderful World Music Group, but that's still fam. That's still a homie. And, everything is smooth groove, Somebody said, is it possible to submit production work? Yeah, always. My email is on the bio section of my Twitter page. So definitely, I'm always listening. I'm always listening for new joints. Somebody said, props to the homie Skyzoo. Great job with the album. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys. Let me see. I don't want to miss nothing. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Speaking on features, you have big names like Black Thought, Jadakiss, but you also have lesser known artists like Scar Bar and West Side Gun. How did you come about rather? How did those come about, and why did you choose to put them on the album? For me, it's just about what makes sense, whether the artist has a name or not per se, because everybody starts out in a certain place and then they get to a level where they have a name. So for me, the name and all that doesn't matter. It's fly to have names like Jadakiss, like Black Thought, like Bilal, in the past, Jill Scott, Raheem Devon, Freeway. It's fly to do that, but it's cool that even if we don't, it's just about what makes sense for the project. It's really just about what makes sense for the album. So with that, I wanted to give guys that made sense on the record. West Side Gun made sense on the record. Scar Bar made sense on the record because he's a Baltimore guy. He's a guy from Baltimore. He was in The Wire. He really is a part of that life, in his past life and all that. So, it made sense to put him on that, Let's see if we missing something. Top 5 MCs. Oh, man. Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas. This is in no particular order. Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, Mos Def, and third would be a tie. I mean, fifth. Jeez, what am I doing? Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, Mos Def, and the last one would be a tie between Scarface and Andre 3000. I'd have to put that as a tie spot. But Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, Mos Def, yeah, and then 3 Stacks and Scarface neck and neck. So that's the 5. It's tough, but that's the 5. Your album is top 5 this year. Your live performance at Blue Note cemented that. Keep bringing the heat. Lyricists are making a comeback to the mainstream. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that indeed. Yeah, it's just about doing what makes sense, you know, whether lyrics are popular or not amongst the grand scheme and the majority and the mainstream. I'm always going to do what I do. So whether the beat is a Ninth type joint or a Thelonious Martin type joint, or whether the beat is an Illmind progressive hip hop joint, or whether the beat is a Pharrell or Will.i.am joint, the one thing you can always count on is that the pen game is going to be there, and I'm going to say something to make you go, ooh, you heard that? Oh, wait. That's like 2. What? Oh, that's double meaning. That's a triple meaning, because that's just my pedigree. That's what I'm always about. So lyricism is always going to be A1 front and center for me. For me, that's the most important of all of this for me, you know, the lyricism, and then everything else is just added on to it. So thank you for the love. I appreciate. Pardon me. I appreciate you feeling like the album is top 5. I put everything into it. You know, when I make a record, I don't aim to say this is going to be the top 5 album. This is going to be, you know, the best album of the year. I just make it the best album of my career that I've made thus far. And then whatever else happens from that, happens from that. That's always it. So I said, why did you choose to leave Hands Folded Together as a bonus cut? Hands Folded Together to me felt like a cassette tape. It felt like vinyl. You know, it didn't really feel like nowadays, which was on purpose. It was perfect as far as the beat. My DJ, DJ Prince did the beat. He's my actual DJ on the road and at shows and all that. Prince did the beat. You know, when I heard it, I was like, L make perfect sense. I did my verses first before I thought about putting L on it. But once I did it, I was like, yeah, L makes sense. You know, I did 2 verses, and I said, I want to get somebody to type the 3rd verse. And I was like, you know what? I think L Zai would make a lot of sense. And a lot of people have been asking for it. And I had just kicked it with L maybe a month or 2 prior. So I was like, yeah, this is all timed right. Everything makes sense time-wise. But the record, it just felt like a cassette tape record. It felt like a song for a cassette tape. It felt like a song for vinyl. So I said, you know what? Let's make it where it's only on that. But obviously we're in the digital age, so we put it on SoundCloud. Say, you know, let's put it on SoundCloud and make it where people can listen to it. So, you know, and I think I might make it go live as far as the download maybe tonight or tomorrow. So I know you guys have heard it and streamed it on SoundCloud, but I think I might make it live where you can just download it and put it on your phone as well, because I know you guys want to be able to live with it, you know, and take it with you everywhere. So I think I might do that as well. Somebody said, I saw one. I'm trying to find where it went. Somebody asked about Bodie. Somebody asked about asking Bodie for a package. I can't find the question. I think they said, how did I come up with the idea? Well, the idea behind asking Bodie for a package, it's obviously from The Wire. A lot of my friends grew up that way. A lot of my friends grew up with, yo, you don't have a choice. You got to go do this at 13, 14 years old, some of them 12 years old. A lot of my friends grew up that way. So with the whole theme of the album being 13, 14 years old and the conflictions and interactions of that age bracket, I just wanted to harp on that. And the line was just ringing in my head because, you know, it comes from the actual episode where Naaman's moms was like, you gonna ask Bodie for a package. And it hit like it cut like a sword. It was just sharp. It just, you know what I mean? It just cut me sharp and it stuck. And I just was chanting in my head, you gonna ask Bodie for a package. Believe that. You gonna ask Bodie for a package. Believe. And it kept going. I said, you gonna ask Bodie for a package. Believe that. And everything will be the way it should be on the feedback. Hand up over fists when it's clicking. You see that? Point out what you want, and it's your. And it just came to me easy. The hook came to me right away. And I was like, yeah, let's go. You know, and that's how that came about. All right, word up. Think we're gonna we'll do one more. We're supposed to do this till 9. We at about 9 now. We'll do one more. But now that I've figured out how to use Google Hangout, we'll do this more often. I promise you guys, we'll do this more often. If you didn't get your question in now, you can definitely holler on Twitter. As you know, I'm an active Twitter user. I'm always on Twitter. I'm always responding to people as best and as fast as I can. So hit me on there if you didn't get to hit me, you know, on here directly, or if the question didn't get answered. I apologize. Let me see the last question somebody asked. on Twitter, what are your thoughts on Tupac as an artist? Tupac was an amazing artist. The fact that the music still matters and still makes sense is what we all strive for as artists, as musicians, as MCs, people who put art together, even outside of music, any type of art. The goal is for it to continue to have the longevity and last and make sense. So Pac did that, epitome of it. You know, we still listen to Dear Mama on Mother's Day. We still, you know, listen to Changes. We still listen to Brenda's Got a Baby. You know, Pac did all that, hand over fist. And then Pac is an actor as well. I mean, the other day, I just was thinking about the movie Juice randomly. You would have never known Pac wasn't from New York. I mean, he was born in New York and he lived here as a kid before he moved to Baltimore and then LA. But you knew Pac was LA, his movements, the way he spoke, the way he carried himself. When you watch Juice, you would have never known he wasn't from here. He embodied New York 92. He embodied Harlem in 92 in that movie. And that's just incredible art, incredible acting, and the music, you know, the music, man. One of my favorite Pac records is Ambitions as a Rider, Ambitions of a Rider. One of my favorite Pac records ever. My Ambitions as a Rider. That beat, I'll kick 1,000 bars on that beat, just freestyling off the head if given the opportunity. I love that beat, man. Ambitions as a Rider. It's an incredible record. So any more videos from you? I'm sneaking in a couple questions. Any more videos from music from my friends coming out? Yep. Civilized Leisure, Women Who Could Cook, Playing Favorites. Hopefully Money Makes Us Happy. Hopefully See a Key. So we'll see. But all that's going on. One more. Somebody asked, are you a full-time artist? Yes, I'm a full-time artist. I haven't worked a real job in 9 years. So, and I'm honored and blessed and privileged to be able to say that to all you guys who are still working full-time 9-to-5 jobs or on the grind in the street, whatever it is. Stay woke, stay focused. Salute to you guys. Kudos to you guys. I know what that's like. I know what it's like to wake up at 6:30 in the morning and be to work by 8:15 and get a half-hour lunch break and waiting for payday and getting off at 5 and the boss coming to you at 4:45 and asking can you stay till 8. I know what that life is like, man. I respect it. I understand it. And I commend you guys for working on your craft, your music, your art while still working the 9-to-5, because that was me. I was the guy who was at work till 5:30, jumped on the train, went to the studio, was at the studio till 4 in the morning, went to the crib, took a shower and went back to work and slept at the desk on the low while the boss wasn't looking. So trust me, man, I understand that life. I respect the hell out of it. And I commend you guys to continue to do what you got to do and always strive and push for more. And don't feel like having a regular job is beat. You know, having a regular job, quote unquote, 9-to-5 is a beautiful thing because there's a lot of motherfuckers out there who would kill for that. So salute to you guys. My computer's on 1%. I'm sorry, y'all, but hit me on Twitter. Let's keep the conversation going. One love. I appreciate the love immensely. I owe all of y'all individually. Salute.